While the Sensex keeps crossing new lifetime highs, we've crossed 38,000 recently. Yeah. But again, when investors are looking at their statements, which are coming to them, probably because it's only a few stocks which have taken the Sensex to where it is. But if you look at the mid-cap universe, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, investors don't seem to feel that their returns are at lifetime highs, in this year. Are you getting calls from people who are panicking, saying that, look, the broader market hasn't risen the way it should have, so our stocks, which we bought through mutual funds, are not necessarily doing as well as we thought they would?
I think, Vivek, what you just said is just spot on. Because what's happening in the last 6 months, precisely, if I look at the period, I think you can take the period from, let's say, January, or to be more specific, the day after the budget came in. So let's say on 1st of February, till now, markets actually, which would have on a roller coaster ride for the last calendar year, 2017, just suddenly took a break. And with a lot of changes happening in the global economy as well as Indian markets, for example, a taxation happening on the long-term capital gain on equities, we just put a setback on the overall markets perspective, followed by concerns on the trade war happening between US and China, because they are the two big daddies in the world, and your oil not helping Indian markets, because I think India imports 40% of the oil consumption, putting pressure on your inflation. So all these things have their own weights around the overall development in the markets and the economy also. So what led to this was that the mid caps, which actually had a very, very nice bull run in the markets was 2017, just took a pause. And eventually it was started to going down, which led to few stocks going up, which were more on the large cap side. And they were actually the superior large caps. And to name of them, there were very, very few 5-6 stocks, which actually constitute a larger portion of your index in the BSE 30. So those 5 stocks which went up, let's say like an HDFC Bank or a TCS or an Infosys or Reliance, actually have a 66% weight of the index. So those stocks led to that rally. And while the other 25 stocks within the same index also went up, but not so much, some even went down. So overall, you saw a 10% growth in the index, and typically the media just blasted that the markets are going up. My index from a 36,000 levels went to 38,000 levels, and only in the last fortnight, if we can say that, I think the last 15 days of July and now of August, we can say that markets are seeing a little bit of overall rally, which sees the other stocks also participating, including the mid caps. But yes, the damage was done. Mid-cap stocks as an index were down around 14 to 15%. The small caps were even worse off. They were down 20% on the index side. And this is only the index, mind you. If I scratch the surface further, you find it was really a bloodbath. But on the contrary, it was not bad, because the stocks which have just led to the rally, you could also sense a lot of frothiness happening in the markets. And those were the stocks that started to bleed much more. So now markets corrected. Still you see that the index has gone up, but my valuation in my NAVs of my portfolio are not commensurating with the returns. So logically, investor will always raise this, why is not my portfolio performing? But if they further deep dive into it, they will find that the large caps are much better off vis-a-vis the mid caps and the small caps.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.